the offer still stands. You get on my 6-month daily program and you win Wimbledon.
No chance.
Easy.
I'm not living like that. No way.
Come on, man.
No way. Welcome to Hanakuma's Good Trouble. It's no surprise I've been known for getting in a bit of trouble right here on this court, but trouble can be a good thing. I've been able to take those lessons and use them for good with my new show at Hanakuma, Good Trouble with Nick Kyrgios. My next guest is a champion who really needs no intro. Just Google tennis GOAT. Joker's got all the world #1 records. Save some accolades for the rest of us, Novak. Mate, come take a seat. How are you?
This is comfy, man.
It's good, man. It's good.
Wow.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for being here. We've developed a real respect for each other and bromance since our Wimbledon final, which I just told you back there that I wish you gave to me because you didn't really need it. So Tell me, what does good trouble mean to you?
Okay, I'll answer to that question in two ways, more serious and less serious. So I'll start with more serious one. I think the good trouble is anything you say, do, that really expresses who you are, your original self. Being authentic is something that can get you in trouble, and trust me, I know that. I think you know that too. But in the end of the day, it's how you go to sleep, how you wake up, how you see yourself in the mirror. And if you're good with, with your deeds, if you're good with your mistakes as well, if you're in peace with that, I think that's good trouble. Because in the end of the day, you got to be yourself. I think we all go through the journey of discovering who we truly are. I think we are evolving all the time. But I think sticking to the values that we've been brought up with and things that matter to you, being close to that and expressing that regardless of what others think is something that you can say it's a good trouble. The less serious way, the good trouble is 4-all third set Wimbledon finals. You're serving, 40-love.
And I get broken.
And then a lady in the stands starts to scream something. She annoys you and you lose that service game. And I get the championship.
Thank you.
So that's a good trouble for me.
I appreciate that.
Not for you.
I haven't been able to sleep since that night, but I appreciate you reminding me that I'd lost that final. So I asked Instagram this morning, obviously it's a bit of hype around our show and, you being here, and they asked a question from the fans. I'll start there. And they said, how did you guys actually bury the hatchet? Because there was a bit of, turmoil. I always thought you were a gun tennis player. And, how did we actually get over that and now we've become friends?
I don't know what I have done to cause that kind of behavior yours towards me, but it was interesting to follow that for a couple of years. And it was part of me, it was like, don't answer, don't get involved.
I was just luring you in. I was just bringing you in.
He was like, you were pushing all the buttons, man. Like you were like, and then I thought to myself, well, I really want to speak to him because I don't know, like, what have I done? So then 2 years ago, what happened here in Australia for me. I don't want to go back, but, we had a tough time and you stood up for me. That was a big surprise. You were one of the very few colleagues that stood up, that used his platform, used his voice to support me, and that's something that I'll never forget. And since that moment, our relationship's gotten better.
I'll always be there for you, Novak. To think it all started in Serbia playing with a mini racket and a foam ball gifted to you by your parents. Is it true that that was the most beloved toy in your life? And did you fall in love with tennis from the get-go?
I did. I was 4 or 5 years old, coming from a war-torn country at that time. That's probably the first filming that we had of me playing tennis. I was 4, 91. That was at a mountain called Kopaonik in Serbia, south of Serbia. That's where my parents used to own the restaurant. We spent a lot of time in that mountain, and they had 3 tennis courts, and so the workers were, seeing me on the fence, hanging on the fence, being curious of what's going on, and they were like, "Why don't you bring us a beer, and in return, we'll let you do the courts with us." So that's what happened. I was bringing them water and beers. And from that moment onwards, you know, I was bragging to my parents every single day, you gotta buy me a racket, I wanna play tennis, and that's how the love affair started, really. So, you know, I think that the upbringing that you have, the connection to your roots, to the culture, to the tradition, to where you come from, I know you are a very strong advocate of that. I think it's so important to maintain that connection with your family, with people that have sacrificed so much in their lives to allow you to live your dream and being appreciative of everything that you have.
For me, it was completely different. I looked at the videos of you just then, and I was about triple your size at that age. I was a big kid, hated exercise, and my mum kind of dragged me down to the tennis courts and was like, you're going to play. And I hated it. I was crying the whole session. I was like, sometimes how I carry on out here is exactly how I was back as a kid. I hated it. I was like, get me off the court, I want to play. And, you know, I've just had a hate and love relationship the whole time, and I guess that's the difference between a Grand Slam champion like yourself and someone like me, but hopefully I'll get there one day.
The offer still stands. You get on my 6-month routine program, daily program, and you win Wimbledon.
No chance.
Easy.
I'm not living like that. No way.
Come on, man.
No way. No way. So I've always wanted to ask you this because this is I feel like you and I can relate in the sense that, you know, the media hasn't always backed us, hasn't always been nice to us. And I looked at how you performed last year in Australia, and I feel like you really fed off that kind of energy, you know, being painted as not the good guy. How do you feed off that energy? Does it drive you more than being the favorite? Do you like being that person to just ruin someone's day and come out there and win the match?
You know, it really depends. People think that I thrive on that energy when somebody doesn't like me, or, you know, I'm facing adversity on and off the court. Over the years, I've learned the lessons in a hard way, in a way. I like sometimes when you respond to every article that you read, or every single comment, or every single, I don't know, statement that somebody makes of you, it's not gonna get you far. You know, it's only gonna get you out of the comfort zone. It's only gonna piss you off. And I don't wanna live in that kind of emotion, you know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes you need to be, I guess, woken up. Sometimes you need to be shaken up to get the best out of yourself. But most of the time, I really want to enjoy life. You know, I want to have a good relationship with people. I really care about this sport. I care about playing in front of people and making, hopefully, people happy with my tennis. And you know, that's what it's all about.
Consistency's been one of the hardest things. Like, I've had pretty poor consistency throughout my career, you know, with training, waking up feeling motivated, you know, having a good diet, all these things. How have these disciplines helped define you?
Well, it's a very good question. I think you need really consistency in anything if you want to do it well in life. I mean, I feel I always have to express gratitude for having the life that I have. But there are mornings that I'll feel so bad and demotivated and just lack of inspiration to travel, to play tennis. I want to be back home. I want to be with my children. I want to be with my wife. You know, I want to live a normal life, so to say. You know, but then you have to overcome that, you know, and it all starts and ends with your mind. And I think if you're very clear with yourself, what is it that you truly want? What's the purpose? I think that's the fundamental question, you know, that needs to be answered. But I think that the clarity helps set up kind of the routines, the daily goals, the short-term goals, the long-term goals. If you're an athlete, you obviously need to be repetitive with things. You know, you need to go out on the court, do the same chores, same stuff over and over again, and then finally you get the result, you get the reward. And in the end of the day, you have to deal with your emotions off the court and all the relationship issues that you have and all the things that are happening that are affecting you. For the first part of my career, I was not okay with myself breaking rackets and screaming and making fool of myself on the court. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm okay with that today. You know, when I do it, I'm ashamed of myself. I really am. I'm embarrassed. And I really, you know, hate myself for doing that. But at the same time, what I think the difference is, maybe in the last 7-8 years, is that I accept my flaws and I accept that I do mistakes and errors, and I try to be a better version of myself the next day. And it might not happen, but at least, you know, I'm in peace with myself, and I'm not embarrassed to say, look, I'm wrong. or I'm flawed, like you do.
Yep.
And this is what I respect and appreciate about you, is that you say, look, I have issues. Everyone has mental issues, but everyone tries to deal with them in the best possible way.
Great answer. And, talking about defining moments, we're about to play a clip of you, winning your first slam in 2008, when it all kind of started for you. And your run from 2011 to 2015, then again to the 2016 French Open, first career Grand Slam, your big win here. That made it the first non-calendar year Grand Slam since Aussie legend Rod Laver in 69 hole, all 4 majors. So, and the ranking points record of 16,950. I think I've only had about 2,000 at one time. So, all those amazing things, and after so much success, do you still feel that flame burning? Like, where does your motivation come from now? Like, look at all the things you've achieved, and you got to sit back and say, like, how do you keep showing up and giving the fans and me, all this? How do you keep doing it?
Man, that's a question that I keep on asking myself, to be honest with you. I have days where I'm like pumped, motivated, and the little Novak, 4-year-old Novak that started playing tennis in Koponik in Serbia is still inside and still in love with the sport, and it's still so hungry for more, right? But
how?
But at the same time, there's probably this more mature Novak, father and a husband, that is like, come on, man, there are other things in life as well. There's part of me that wants to keep going, and I don't have a limit. I don't have an expiry date. I really don't feel like that, to be honest.
So what you're saying is you're going to play for another 6-7 years?
Yeah. But on the other hand, I do feel like, wow, okay, it's been 20 years plus of a professional tennis, incredible success, incredible achievements. I have done everything that I could possibly dream of and more.
Yep.
I'm grateful to be where I am.
So let's talk about some of the stuff you do off the court. You've also got your own foundation, Novak Djokovic Foundation, and you've had that for over a decade. I know for me personally, doing things outside the court is so important. I have my own foundation. So, tell us a bit about your foundation and what drives you to do that and help others and make sure the future generations are set.
Thank you for asking me that. I'm very obviously passionate about that. My wife and I, along with my parents, founded Novak Djokovic Foundation back in 2007. And we really wanted to do something for children, but we didn't know exactly what. And so we asked UNICEF to help us out and provide us with some insight and know-how about, what is happening with the youth in Serbia. And at that point, there was more than 50% of children in Serbia in the early childhood days that were not attending any preschool. So we said, okay, we got to fix this. And now, today, we have over 50,000 children in our programs. We have rebuilt or built from scratch over 45 kindergartens. We have almost 20,000 parents in our programs. We're very passionate about it. We also have various programs that are concerning sport, obviously, that is logically very, very close to my heart. The other year, I actually found out that the oldest tennis courts ever built in Serbia were kind of abandoned. We renovated those courts, and now children from that town and small towns are able to play tennis or involve themselves in some form of a tennis program, which is amazing. Something that is really beautiful. And it's really rewarding, because in the end of the day, it's all about giving back. It's all about touching other people's lives. It's lovely when you can realize your dreams, achieve things that you've always dreamed of. But if you don't use that stage that you're in, the influence, the power, the platform to do good and to impact other people's lives, children's lives, and to bring tennis, to bring whatever you are passionate about to as many people as possible, and see the smiles on their faces and the gratitude on their face, then you didn't do anything. Yep. And I admire what you are doing with your family for many years already here in Australia.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And it seems like you've been busy, bro, to be honest, because you've also started SILA as well, which is no surprise. You've always been ahead of the game for wellness. So tell us a bit more about that as well.
SILA is a health and wellness lifestyle brand. It started with electrolyte hydration drinks, and you know, I'm really grateful to celebrate through SILA everything that I've been through in my journey. We talked about it before we walked out on the court, the routines, the preparation, you know, the daily habits, whether it's nutrition, whether it's hydration, whether it's sleep, whether it's recovery, whether it's training, prevention, mental health, whatever I'm doing, there is a purpose and there is a plan behind it, you know. So I've been developing that kind of, so to say, unique signature plan and program and journey over the last 15 years, and I want to share this with people. And SILA is that platform where I'll be able to share that, and it's just the beginning, so I'm really excited for what's coming up.
You should be, man. I'm happy for you and happy for all your success. So before we get into the end stages of this episode of Good Trouble, but we can't leave without talking about the GOAT conversation. Does it really bother you when people always compare Federer, Nadal, Djokovic? Because I love this debate so much, because I've played all of you guys and I've somehow beaten you guys. I think it's hilarious. I was a fat kid from Canberra, I didn't love the sport, and then I'm playing the greatest of all time. You for me are the GOAT now, hands down, there's no conversation. But did those GOAT conversations ever really bother you?
When it comes to tennis, I actually enjoy people talking about it. And the reason why is because the more people talk about it, the more attention towards tennis. So the more tennis benefits from that. And as a tennis player, I want that for my sport. I want more children to be involved in sport. I want more children to take a racket, watch a tennis match, go out there, start playing tennis. We want that as an ecosystem, right? So, but I will never say what I think about who the GOAT is in tennis. I will never say that. It's mostly out of respect for all the greats and all the champions in all the generations before us, because it's so hard to compare wooden racket with this racket today. People could not fly planes to get to places 70 years ago, right?
Have you hit with a wooden racket though? It's pretty easy.
I did.
I mean, it's
pretty easy. I mean,
I was still serving 210.
You can serve with a frying pan and you would still serve aces, man. So
who's your basketball GOAT?
Oh, it's a tough one, man. I know you're a big basketball fan.
But this is gonna go everywhere, by the way.
Well, I know we both love Kobe. We both love Kobe. So, I mean, it's tough to choose between Kobe and Michael. But
what about LeBron? I feel like you're like the LeBron.
I love LeBron as well. I mean, it's unbelievable what he's doing, and it's tough. It's tough to choose, man. But I mean, I had a relationship, friendly relationship with Kobe, so I have to pick Kobe. You know, Kobe is my guy. Kobe. Right. Rest in peace, brother.
Yeah, we miss him every day. My GOAT's LeBron. I think you're the LeBron of tennis. Numbers, statistics, they're all yours. So yeah, I
mean, what I love about LeBron and something I kind of identify with is his and Tom Brady as well, and Serena, is first of all incredible mind of a champion, just incredible hunger for success, for improvement. Cristiano Ronaldo is also like that, but just willingness on a daily basis to take your body, your mind, your character, your emotions to a different level, to be better version every single day, and to crush the borders and limits that everyone imposes on you. That's something that LeBron has been doing for so long, and that's why he's still one of the best in the world. And I really respect and admire that about him. I still haven't had a chance to have a chat with him. I would love to do that. I had a great chat with Tom Brady over the years, and we've been friends, and he came to watch me in US Open. So I hope to be speaking with LeBron about this. And he actually, we were supposed to do his podcast, the Barbershop.
Yep.
So
that would have been funny.
hopefully I can do that with him, in the near future.
Can you come to one of my barbershops and get a fade, please?
Sure.
You need to get a good fade. Skin fade before you take the court.
Sure, man.
Please. All right, Novak, I just want to say thank you for your time and thank everyone here for coming out. This was a great experience, man. I really appreciate it. And from one athlete to another, man, I just want to see you keep dominating. You know, I want to keep seeing you out here as long as possible. Good luck these next couple of weeks. And, you know, this was good trouble. And it was amazing.
Listen, man, you got to promise me something.
What is it?
You got to recover quick. Come back to the tour. Before I retire, we got to play doubles.
I'm down.
Tournament.
All right, what do you all think?
Are
Doubles?
you in?
Appreciate you.
What do you say, guys?
You.
Come on.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
We've got to sign this camera. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it,
Thank you. It was amazing.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure.
You want to go first? Appreciate it. One photo? Thank you.
Yeah, man, for sure.